Hey guys, RuzyJ here again. I'm going to bring you another commentary for today. Today is actually going to be a bombing run commentary and how to do a quick bombing run at the beginning of a game within the first about 5 minutes and sort of destroy or cripple your opponent really quickly, trying to take their depots down and get an advantage early in the game, and thus possibly giving you a quick win if your opponent does not play properly. So I'm going to start this game off. I'm going to be showing you how to sort of do this quick strike. I'm going to start with build 2 depots off the bat here. I'm going to push out with this barracks right here. So I'm going to make it look like off the bat that I'm going with a barracks. So I'm going to want to wait as well, and I'm going to want a camouflage net. And usually they'll be paying attention to what's going on. So right now my opponent's probably going to be getting some barracks, or some bases, sorry. So by the time it gets to about there, I'm going to want to camouflage net so it doesn't see what I'm building. So I'm going to be working off of 2 bases for a bit. It's going to be a little bit hectic. You don't want to always work off 2 base, but you need to work off 2 bases for this to work. You need to save your other ruse card as well. And I'm gonna be, if it warrants, I'm gonna be radio silencing this sector, this sector, this sector. I'm gonna be dropping bombs across here if the computer doesn't do some crazy strategy and mess me up. So pretty much this is for a opponent that is going macro heavy like the computer likes to do, and it's not that great against quick rushes. If you're getting rushed hard right away off the bat, it's not the greatest thing to do. But if you're going against someone who doesn't really know exactly what to do or is not that great at the game, this can work. This can work also in 2v2 against a good opponent. I'm not saying it can't. I'm just saying a good opponent might expect this to come, just because the fact that your barracks is just out here out in the open and nothing else is showing it off. The fact that you haven't done anything with this, so they might actually assume you're going for some kind of crazy shenanigans early game. But usually, if you're playing against, or they might just assume you're bad and don't know what you're doing, and they might not worry about it. But usually this will be camouflaged. This probably won't be out here, so I'd expect the bases to be over here. But the computer always builds this stuff over here. I know it's going to build it here every time. It always builds this, and it decides to go for an airfield like I was hoping it wouldn't, but it's going to go for an airfield. So I guess I'm going to have to do this bombing run much quicker than I wanted to. So you're going to see the quick version, I guess, of how this is going to work, because right now I'm sort of in a bad spot. I'm forced to do a bombing run right now and push out. It's probably going to make a recon plane. Most German players wouldn't make air to start. I'm not saying everyone's going to not make air, but most German players would not make air to start. So it's going to pump out an air recon plane. I know this is going to happen because I'm so used to playing the supercomputer. The fact that I know it's probably going to pump out an air recon plane. So I'm gonna actually go. I know it doesn't have any air right. I know it doesn't have any air recon right now. So I'm gonna actually pump radio sounds here. Radio sounds here. Now I might get lucky. I might not. But I'm gonna push this plane right across. I'm gonna send these 2 bombers right across, and you need to make sure very badly that this plane does not fly in its zone. You don't want it to fly right here. If it flies here, you're done. You're in trouble. So you need to micro these planes very well. Make sure they don't get seen, because as soon as they get seen, you're going to be in trouble, and you don't want that. So you're going to make it fly right here, and you're going to make these planes fly. So you don't want them to be seen right away. You're going to make sure that this bomber is going to go over here. Now you need to make sure, this is very important. You can actually wait again for this to come, but I'm not going to wait. I'm going to go straight for it. I might actually use blitz as well right now. Right now the enemy's pretty screwed. It doesn't have anything to defend this. It's going to actually have to be forced to do something. I'm going to blitz right now to get this out. It's actually got a Ju-87. So right now I'm going to go for this. I'm going to go for this bombing run. I'm going to go for a drop as well. I don't know why this isn't working. And this didn't actually, I actually blew up the base, so now he doesn't have any field. I didn't want to attack this. I actually wanted to attack this, but for some reason the bomber is awesome and decided to pretty much it decided to do its own thing, whatever it wanted to do, and pretty much left me in a bad spot. Now the computer's going to push on me. Now it has no airfield, so now it's forced to make an airfield. Now I can push out here, and I'm in a good spot, because now I have my base defended. I know my base is a little bit vulnerable right now because he's got so many tanks, but they're only lights. I'm in a good spot. I can start doing more bombing runs because I got more fighters out now. I can start pushing right now because all you can really do is make recon but I have the bombers to do something. So I'm going to actually, I have no camouflage on it. You can see that I'm just pushing out bombers, planes right now. He can't make any plane. He has nothing to make planes with. He has no airfield. So the airfield attack was imperative. It was a thing I needed to do to stop this attack early on. I need to actually start pushing this. I'm going to actually start taking depots down, start doing stuff like that. I need to actually make a Spitfire, but I can't. So this might actually go down, unfortunately. I actually got to make another base, but I can as well. So I'm in a bit of trouble early on. Nothing too serious, though. I'm actually going to... don't know why this is what I also was talking about. You want to actually micro this away. See, the plane's not going to listen to me. You actually should do not... I actually got lucky, but when you want to attack buildings that are like this, you want to fly from this over here and drop the payload across so you get that extra attack in. That is what I should have done. I didn't do it, unfortunately, so that was my fault. But it's okay. I didn't pay the price for it. It's not a huge deal. I'm going to make another depot. I'm going to camouflage net this right now. Now, a good player wouldn't really do something stupid like this and just be attacking with straight planes. But it is, so nothing I can really do about that. I can't really stop the plane from doing anything. And this is also what you need to learn to do. You need to zoom in, and see, as I didn't zoom in properly like I should have. And that should have been a dead or a wounded, at least, recon truck, and instead it wasn't. These will still keep going to work. This wasn't gonna... I'm not gonna lose this anytime soon. So now pretty much my cards have been shown. The opponent knows what I'm pushing with, knows what I got. So I'm going to keep just making air dominance is the best thing. I'm going to try and go for depot attacks. I'm going to go below this depot up as well. I need to get this plane out of the way before I lose it. So pretty much now I'm just taking control of the game. I have a huge score. Now I need to start macroing. This is when the macro time needs to start. I can probably go for a bombing run as well. Another bombing run. So I'm going to take this recon plane over here. I'm just going to fly it over here very slowly. I'm going to make another recon plane and get this one over here. I'm going to take out this depot. I went for these 3 buildings to start because they were the easiest to go for. It was just the simplest thing. Usually you'd be attacking a base, so you wouldn't really be forced to do something like this, but sometimes you need what you gotta do. So I'm going to keep pushing right here. I'm going to get this plane to actually fly so I can get this Warhawk to do some damage. It's going to drop the bomb right there. It's going to wound 1, so at least I'm not going to lose, and I'm going to drop the bombs on this depot. I'm going to take it down. I'm going to keep flying this plane over here. I'm going to get my other plane to fly over here. Now I have a big advantage. Now I can start macroing like I was talking about before. Get my macro game up because my opponent is in a really bad spot right now. I actually need to fly this plane away right now because I am in a bad spot. It's going to get shot down. So I've got to get this plane over here. So I'm going to keep making fighters, keep pumping out fighters. Just making sure that I don't lose that air dominance, because the air dominance is what's pretty much keeping me alive at this point. You need to just pretty much follow. You always want to have air following your air at all times. You don't want to lose your air. You always need your air following your other air, making sure your fighters are not going to end up dying, or your planes are not going to end up dying. I want to go for another bombing run here. I'm going to aim for this depot, actually. I don't know why both my bombers decided to not bomb this, but this fighter should be able to take out this JU. Don't engage the target. Let your target engage itself. Especially planes, let the planes attack themselves, because if you push on the plane and kill it, you might actually be forcing yourself into a bad spot and making your opponent